Mr. Allen, I'm Dr. Jan Camp, an exploration geologist. I live in the Tecumseh. I've experienced thousands of earthquakes all over the world, so I have some familiar with them, or familiarity. This particular fault hasn't moved in 300 million years approximately, and I know that because I've done about 30 years worth of mapping on the Rosetta Fault. Why all of a sudden in 300 million years did this particular fault start to move? If you say that that's normal, then give me 3 other examples in which a 300 million year gap in movement has occurred.
The Mears Fault, for one, has gone
Let's
through.
don't talk about the Mears Fault.
You just asked for an example of a fault, sir.
It doesn't have a 300 million year gap. Now answer the question. Give me an example with a 300 million year gap in the movement. Don't go to some place where there's current movement like the Mears Fault. You know, that may sound good to other people, but to me, you're not fooling me.
I'm not trying to fool you, sir.
Well, do you have any
asked for a
example?
fault where there was a 300 million year gap.
In movement.
The Mears Fault was one. It was once an extensional rift zone, and that stopped. And then it became a thrust system, and then a strike-slip system. So it's gone through several periods of activity with long periods of quiescence.
There's no 300 million year gap in there, though.
There is between when it was a rift system and when it went into its other modes of deformation.
Well, I question your sources of information on that. Well, let's go on to another question. How much did this particular fault face move, and how and where did you measure?
I haven't done the calculation to the exact slip on the fault itself. I've been busy responding with instruments so we can learn as much as possible. I could have those numbers for you in the morning.
Published maps of the Rosetta Fault shows question marks all along it. What does that mean?
If you guys want to have a discussion about why, I'd like for you to do it later when this meeting is over. There's people here that want to know what resources we've got to solve their problems today, and I'm not saying that it's not important to know why, but if you guys want to have a science class, do it when we get answers to these other specific questions, because we're very short on time.
My apologies. My apologies. I thought this was pertinent to whether what was causing it would be pertinent.
I think there's more people concerned about what do we do today than what caused it, because we can't back the train up and say my house isn't ruined.
Thank you. I'm out here.